The highly anticipated Feybreak update trailer just premiered during the Game Awards, and if you haven't had the chance to watch it yet, I'll put the link in the description for you. I also have 2 other videos that cover more update news, including Warsec Terra, who is making his debut in this update, as well as a new building feature that Bucky has confirmed will be included. Those links will also be in the description. Now that we're all caught up on the latest news, I can't contain my excitement for this update. For the past 2 days, I have meticulously examined each frame of the trailer to extract as much information as possible to share with you. During my analysis, I spotted anywhere from 10 to 12 new PALs. I'll clarify the uncertainty about the exact number shortly when we discuss them further. A significant portion of my speculations will reference the game code. This comprises details leaked several months ago by data miners, with many of the PALs and materials listed eventually appearing in the Sakurajima update. For example, the game code referenced a boss known as Boss Weasel Dragon Fire, which subsequently evolved into the character we now know as Chillet Ignis, or more commonly Grillet. In fact, I sometimes forget that its actual name is Chillet Ignis, as many players only refer to it as Grillet. This reinforces the notion that elements from the game code, such as Warsec Terra, are likely to make it into the final version of the game. With the game code clarified, let's dive into the new island's layout. I am entirely convinced that the Redlands section of Feybreak Island resides in the farthest southwest corner. If you examine the trailer screenshot, you can spot the tree on the left and Mount Obsidian on the right, as well as the Brothers of the Eternal Pyre Tower. This strongly suggests that we are situated far southwest of Mount Obsidian. Recently, within my Discord community, we've been having some intriguing discussions. One member proposed that the new island will likely start directly west of Sakurajima. Given the overarching Japanese theme, he envisions it as a long, narrow landmass reminiscent of Japan itself, with biomes that transition from warm climates near the volcano to snowy regions by the mountains. Considering that many players are currently situated on Sakurajima after the last update, placing the new island where my initial guess was, on the opposite side by the oil rig, could complicate base transit, which is something many players already dislike. I'm curious about your thoughts. Do you believe my assumption about the Redlands region is correct? And what do you think about Bob's hypothesis regarding the island's other areas? Share your opinions in the comments or come chat with us on Discord. If you followed my videos, you know I'm particularly passionate about building in the game. I've spent a significant amount of time examining this aspect of the trailer, and while I can't say for certain that these are new building pieces we'll actually get, I'm going to approach this with the assumption that they represent the next style of buildings available to us. The first thing I notice is that the trailer hints at stunning new roof gables reflecting traditional Japanese design aesthetics. While there are no railings visible at this moment, I remain hopeful that their absence is simply because not everything was shown in the trailer. Railings are always at the top of my wish list for new building components. I was also hoping for a wider variety of roof pitches, and while it appears gables may be on the horizon, the little awnings seem to be fixed to the doors rather than standalone pieces that we can use. Unfortunately, I also didn't spot any evidence of half walls or triangle foundations, elements that builders have been eagerly requesting. Nevertheless, given the limited visuals in the trailer, I still hope for these additions. As we progress through the base area, an interesting container stands out next to the building on the right. This sparked a theory in my mind, though it may be a bit far-fetched and it's really more just wishful thinking. It looks like an upgraded storage chest. So, what if it's what so many players have begged for? What if it's a chest that lets players share resources between bases? We already know that silicone is part of the game code, which could lead to its inclusion in this update. This could pave the way for crafting silicone chips designed for computer storage systems. Plastic appears in the game code too, but silicone seems more likely to me. If we use silicone for chips, it's also possible that the new armor could be similar to the tech suits from ARC, incorporating features like the ability glasses to view a PAL's base IV stats. Additionally, towards the left side of the screen, we catch a glimpse of 2 water tanks. Some in my Discord speculate that these could be health regeneration tanks that might provide quicker healing than the PAL box. If we do receive computer-related items, perhaps these tanks could serve as XP enhancers to help level up your PALs. But all of this is just speculation with a sprinkle of wishful thinking. I'm eager to hear what you all think these new items could be. The anticipation is building, and I can't wait to discover what they really are. I will be streaming my first look at the new Feybreak Island on Twitch December 23rd, so be sure to go follow me over there if you want to learn what all this is right alongside me. Before diving into all the exciting new PALs, let's take a moment to quickly examine the diverse array of weapons featured in the trailer, as there's quite a bit to unpack. Kicking things off, we spot what appears to be an M1, a classic semi-automatic rifle which typically has an 8-round magazine. This weapon brings a touch of nostalgia and reliability. Following that, we spot an AK, which may simply just be a reskin of the existing assault rifle rather than an entirely new addition. Regardless, its design is certainly eye-catching. In another frame, we see the unmistakable silhouette of a Tommy gun. The iconic look of this piece is sure to excite fans of classic firearms. Then, there's the intriguing laser minigun, often referred to as a Gatling gun. This weapon has me particularly excited because I love the laser gun, and I'm eager to see if they'll use the same type of ammo. Finally, we notice what looks like a revolver. While it could potentially be a reskin of the existing handgun, the game code does indicate the presence of .44 ammunition, so this hints at the possibility of a Magnum or something similar, which would absolutely thrill me. The standard handgun has always been a favorite of mine, but the idea of wielding a Magnum sends my excitement through the roof. It gives me all the feels. Alright, as promised, that was quick. Now, let's dive into the exciting array of new PALs we've spotted. I must point out that 2 additional PALs were showcased in the still images released last week, Warsect Terra and another one resembling either a Phalaris Noct or Aqua, neither of which appeared in the trailer. As I mentioned at the beginning, I'm uncertain about the total number of PALs I've observed, and I'll explain that more in a minute. If we count 11 PALs in the trailer, that leads us to a grand total of 13 new PALs arriving in this update. Let's analyze the trailer together, and I'll highlight all the PALs I've identified. At the start of the trailer, we encounter PALs battling against what seems to be characters that look like a Borderlands psycho had a baby with a member of the Yiga clan. The PALs closely resemble what appears in the game code as Dark Mecha Dragon, classified as dark but labeled as a bird type, and these guys seem to stand upright on 2 legs, which likely classifies them as humanoid. With no accompanying concept art in the code, we can only speculate. Additionally, there's a creature listed as Dragastrophe, characterized as humanoid, with a partner skill called the Black-Winged Shooter, which feels appropriate based on this design. However, the concept art does not look like what's depicted in the trailer, making it difficult to predict if it's the same PAL with a new look. I'm pretty confident that this PAL will become the next summon boss. What do you think? Could it be the Dark Mecha Dragon, Dragastrophe, or possibly something entirely new that isn't already in the code? Next, we encounter an individual that I suspect will serve as the new tower boss. After effortlessly dispatching the Psycho Clan and an army of mecha bosses, he exhibits contempt for their weakness, suggesting they are unworthy foes. A large, blue, lion-like PAL then blindsides him, leading to an intense battle that stretches over days, with neither side gaining the upper hand. Eventually, they appear to earn each other's respect, only to be interrupted by a player alongside her PALs, hinting at how their partnership was formed. I love the glimpse into the origin story of this tower duo. The PAL does not resemble any existing creature in the game code, leaving me puzzled about its identity. Its color scheme hints at it being an Ice-type PAL, and given that there are currently no Ice-type tower bosses, it seems likely. Nevertheless, we don't see any elemental attacks from him, making it hard to draw definitive conclusions. Returning to the player flanked by 2 PALs, the PAL on her left was previously seen in the still shots released last week. The closest match I found in the existing code seems to be the Golden Horse, classified as a 4-legged ground type. Seeing its attack in yellow and brown hues, it might even be a ground electric, but I'm not sure. Nonetheless, it certainly is beautiful. On the right, we have what appears to be what the code calls the Blueberry Fairy, complete with a necklace that resembles a blueberry. Blueberry Fairy is classified as a humanoid grass dark type, which fits with what we see, but this is the only glimpse we get of her, so this is merely my best guess. As we continue, we notice a couple PALs that we will come back to, and then there's a rather intimidating girl that might be what the code calls Purple Spider. She's not categorized as 4-legged or humanoid, instead she falls under the other classification and is identified as a dark type. However, this is all we see of her in the trailer, so this is pure speculation. On the opposite side, at the sulfur pit, there's a striking white deer-like PAL that is mining alongside Depresso and Rushwhore. While a white deer does exist in the game code as a four-legged neutral type, it does lumbering rather than mining, and unless there have been changes to its work capabilities, something that could certainly be possible considering the age of this leaked game code, I'm led to believe this PAL is something unique, as I can't pinpoint any mining creature within the existing game code that even comes close to looking like this. Next up is what might very well be Grimgirl from the code, a dark humanoid that seems to fit the bill, particularly when we see her perform a dark attack. Interestingly, I suspect she might also be one of the PALs observed floating by Kativa in the mysterious water tanks. Regardless, she's beautiful and I can't wait to see her in my base, doing whatever it is she might do. Now, we come upon a striking figure who could either be Blue Thunder Horse or Night Blue Horse. Both are identified as four-legged. While Blue Thunder Horse is an electric type, Night Blue Horse is a dark type. Given the attacks we see in the trailer, I lean more towards the Night Blue Horse being the one that we're seeing. The next character appears to be the mystery mask from the game code. Just a glance at him will reveal why I think so. In the code, he's classified as a dark type, and like Purple Spider Girl, he is classified as other. Our glimpses of him are limited to 2 brief clips, neither of which showcase any attacks, leaving us in the dark about his full capabilities. However, I strongly suspect that he is indeed Mystery Mask from the game code. Moving on, I've come across what I think could be Black Puppy from the game code. Classified as a four-legged dark type, he appears to be using Nightmare Ball, a clear indication of a dark type attack, which only adds to my conviction. Now we're to the point that leaves me unsure how many new PALs are actually in the trailer. There's another character that could potentially be another PAL or possibly just Black Puppy under poor lighting conditions. They share a striking resemblance, with the main differences being that the second figure lacks the red spot on its head and the red interior of its ears, giving it a more feline appearance. I find myself torn between whether these two are separate PALs or just Black Puppy in bad lighting. What do you think? Are we set to see 12 new PALs, or perhaps this is a different PAL altogether, pushing our total to 13? Having spent the last 2 days meticulously examining every frame of the trailer, I believe I've covered most of what I've found. If anyone has noticed something I might have overlooked, please drop me a comment or reach out via my Discord, which you can find in the description. We're in the process of launching a private, dedicated Palworld server, so if that piques your interest, joining Discord is the best way to get more information on it. If you found any of this helpful, be sure to subscribe for more exciting news, base building, tutorials, and all things Palworld. It's a great way to support my channel, and it's absolutely free. If you want to do more to help me keep making these videos, check out my Patreon. That's where the real bosses are. I truly appreciate every one of you, even if all you did was watch this. I hope to see you in the next one, and until then, thanks for watching and keep on gaming.